joining us this morning for a little getting to know Senator Kelly Ayotte. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks,
I would get
Katie.
drummed out of the motherhood corps if I didn't say that you are the mother of 2 young children and a continually busy U.S. Senator. How does that work?
It works with, first of all, a great husband, and it works with a lot of family help. My sister-in-law helps us with our kids when I'm in Washington, because I commute to Washington. My family stays in New Hampshire. My parents live 5 miles away. Joe's parents live, close to 5 miles away. So a lot of aunts, uncles, family help is how I do it, and I'm very fortunate to have their help.
Yeah. And how tough is that for you? Probably tougher for you than for them.
You know what? It's funny that you say that, because they're often like, sometimes they seem very unfazed by it, and but it is tough for me to be away from them, as it would for any parent to be away from their kids. And when I'm with them, it makes it even more meaningful.
Wow, and very intense too.
Yes.
So everyone take advantage of these
absolutely.
moments.
You want to do
right?
everything you possibly can.
Absolutely. I read somewhere that you're a lawyer.
I am.
And that there is one person in New Hampshire in jail on death row, and you put him there. I think that's an amazing story. Tell me a little bit about that, just the personal side of that, how tough that case was.
Sure. That was, obviously the most significant case that I worked on as Attorney General. And it was a police officer that was murdered in the line of duty. He had been a Marine, was just a wonderful person who helped the community, and he was really murdered in the line of duty by a career criminal. And so it's a case that I had the responsibility of deciding whether or not to bring the death penalty, and given the circumstances, I ended up bringing the death penalty, and it's the first person to be on death row since 1939 in New Hampshire. So it's been a long, New Hampshire has a narrow death penalty statute, but this was an egregious case, and got to know the family really well too, wonderful family of the police officer, and so it was a difficult case.
And was it a difficult decision saying, the death penalty
I
case?
think it's such an important and difficult decision. No question, when you have the weight of making decisions like that, you certainly don't take those decisions lightly, and they are very difficult decisions.
You grew up in New Hampshire. I'm told that you're a skier.
I am.
I'm not sure you can live in New Hampshire and not be a skier.
That's true.
But you were apparently a really good skier.
I used to ski race, and I enjoyed it, and skied Waterville Valley on their ski team, kind of enjoyed racing, and then also in college did some ski racing, in high school ski racing. That was my sport in high school.
So which did you dream of as a teenager? Becoming a member of the U.S. Senate or being on the Olympic ski team?
I can tell you, Candy, I never dreamed about being U.S. Senate. Olympic ski team, absolutely. Not that I ever had a chance at it, but that was definitely that would be a great dream.
What's the first political race you remember in New Hampshire? I mean, when you were kind of aware of it. I think a lot of us kind of go through our teenage years.
Yeah, we go through our teenage years. I think certainly I remember when Ronald Reagan ran, but I was obviously much younger then, and so Bush the first president is probably more memorable for me, and then Clinton.
Not that long ago.
No. I mean, I graduated from high school in 1986. So.
Yeah. So outside of politics now, when you look at a bucket list, what's your bucket list? What do you want to do that doesn't involve politics?
When I think about, my bucket list.
A little young to think of a bucket list, but we should all start.
No, I really think in terms of a bucket list, I want to certainly travel to the West with my kids, Grand Canyon, see our national parks. That's on my bucket list, and really show that to our children who haven't yet gotten to see that part of the country.
Those are amazing parts of the country. When your husband flew combat missions during the Iraq War, talk to me about that, because that's another sort of mother thing. You've got a husband and a father.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. So my husband flew the A-10. We got married right before 9/11, and he got out of the active duty Air Force and then got into the Guard, was going to go be a pilot. So our honeymoon, 9/11 occurred, so of course everyone remembers where they were on that day. He came home, and instead of going to be a pilot at American Airlines, he was called up to serve in the Iraq War, so right into the beginning of our marriage. So what I took from that is what the experience of it's like to have your loved one away. I always think about that on the Armed Services Committee when we're thinking about family members.
Senator Kelly Ayotte, thanks so much for letting us get to know you a little bit.
Thanks, Candy. Appreciate it.